Story 1. My fiancée doesn't move the toothbrush when she brushes her teeth. Instead, she turns her head back and forth. I thought she was joking the first time I saw it. Nope, that's just how she brushes. Story 2. Sometimes when we're cuddling, she feels that I'm not close enough. I would progressively try to get more and more of me in contact with her, but it's never enough. Until I'm completely on top of her like a blanket. We don't usually hold this position for more than a minute because breathing is nice. But knowing she wants me is nice too. Story 3. My girlfriend likes to play with my face when I'm trying to sleep or read scripts of SpongeBob episodes. She also yells out donkey in the Shrek accent. I don't know what is wrong with her, but oh well, as long as she's happy. Story 4. My girlfriend can be put to sleep in literally seconds by rubbing the bridge of her nose, her temples, behind her ears, or the crown of her head. She has always had trouble sleeping, so I think it is a trust and relaxation combination, but it still freaks me out when she goes from perfectly alert to a log when I start playing with her hair. Story 5. Not purposely, but she kind of narrates her life. She's all like, let me go around the drive-thru. Okay, time to order. And I'm just like, what are you doing, laughing out loud? Story 6. She will tap me on the shoulder when we are lying in bed and say, can I come in? When she wants to put her head on my chest and cuddle. No matter how many times I tell her, she does not need to ask permission to cuddle with me. Story 7. One of her favorite things to do in the whole wide world is to press her face against my belly and to have me forcefully inhale and exhale so that her head bounces along on it. She finds it relaxing. Yeah, I do not know either, but hey, if it makes her happy. Story 8. It's not so weird now that I know about her crippling anxiety, but she used to ask me to squeeze her after a long day. Like a professional wrestler giving a bear hug is how she described it. She said she needed to be squeezed so tightly that she had to clear her mind and focus on not suffocating. It would always calm her down and level out anxiety attacks. Story 9. When we hug, every now and then my girlfriend suddenly announces loudly she's going to say, "Naw," and then proceeds to attack my neck. She doesn't really bite with her teeth, but it's ticklish as hell. I either escape her grasp or I die of laughter. I do the same to her sometimes. Sweet revenge. Story 10. This may be more common than I am thinking, but she gets the hiccups whenever she is full from eating. Every single time. It's like clockwork. I have gotten them before after eating, but I have never seen anyone get them every time. Story 11. My girlfriend has this weird obsession with shoving her hands underneath my body. So basically, when I'm sitting on a sofa or lying on the bed, she'll slide them between my body and the bed, then out again and back in. She even does it in her sleep and calls it two. It is almost pleasing to her on a sexual level, which is just downright scary at times. I've been meaning to find out if other people know people that like this and what it's about. Story 12. When she's sad or having a bad day, she will ask me to bounce her. This involves hugging her and lifting her up and down somewhat quickly. It always makes her smile, and she makes the cutest noises. Sometimes I'll stop too early, and she will politely ask for more. She's 30 years old, and I will always be there to bounce her when she needs it most. Story 13. Wakes up in the middle of the night craving chocolate milk. Every single night. This wouldn't be that weird, but she doesn't just wake up, get chocolate milk, and go back to bed. She lies there awake in misery, resisting the simple task for hours. It's truly baffling. Story 14. Comes to my house and cleans. My house is not messy, but her house is constantly in shambles. She moved into her place about 8 months ago, but still has boxes of packed stuff laying around. It bothers me. Story 15. My wife gesticulates wildly when she talks, to the point of knocking drinks over at dinner and pretty much anything else within arm's reach. If we are in bed, the covers fly off if she gets particularly wound up. I have gotten used to gently moving things out of her way if she really gets into a story. Story 16. She always dances whenever she is eating. She stays sitting down but will wiggle and dance a bit when she is enjoying her food. It is annoying because I started doing it a little too and always have to stop myself. Haha. Story 17. She's weirdly obsessed with my chest hair. Every time we lie down in bed, she makes me lift my shirt so she can rub her face in my chest hair. She also calls me Big Fuzz. I don't get it, but I love her to death, so I just go with it. Story 18. What I really like, besides the funny stories, is the overwhelming amount of love that you feel in every answer here. You're such a weirdo, but that's part of why I really love you. Feeling really made me smile to read all the answers. Story 19. She will hold the bottom hem of her shirt and look around mischievously. I must do the same and, when the coast is clear, slightly lift our respective shirts and belly bump. Then just walk away like Cold War spies. Story 20. I wrote a today if **** up about it. She likes to jokingly put her finger in my belly button. I have no idea why. I'll usually entertain it if I'm fresh out of the shower because then it's not smelly. Well, she did it on Christmas while she started sitting up, and my knee connected with her left eye. Whoops. She still does it. Edit. I told her this got 1,000 upvotes, and this was her response. I think I need an adult. Edit. Thanks for the gold. My first one. Thanks, Kate, for being weird as f*******. Story 21. She likes to gently rub the sides of her face and lips over my short beard. I have to keep it short but not too short so it's the right length to give her the right scratchy feeling. It's weird but super cute. Story 22. If I have a pimple, she will immediately try to pop it. Showing a pimple to her is like showing a 14-year-old boy some breasts. She gets extremely frustrated if I tell her no, and will genuinely act like a crack addict saying, "Oh, come on. Just this one time." It is very cute. Story 23. I'm not sure why, but my girlfriend lays out pillows on her bed next to her when I'm not sleeping in the same bed. She will lay them out in a way that seems to resemble another body. I'm guessing she does it for her own comfort. I like to call it her other boyfriend. Story 24. My wife absolutely refuses to watch any movie or TV show recommended to her. It could check every single box she looks for in entertainment: favorite actor, director, genre, interesting plot, etc. And she would wait years to watch it just because someone who's watched it told her she would like it. She says it's because she feels like people are forcing things on her. We're not. We just know what she likes and recommend things because everyone does that. So, she stubbornly waits until years after the recommendation and watches it of her own accord. The best way I've gotten her to watch something I think she'd like is by lying in bed with her and putting it on to watch it myself. She ends up watching it with me. Story 25. When she sees a spider, she loses her mind, often stumbling back and falling on the floor. Mice? No problem. She'll grab them with her hands if she can catch them and just throw them out of the house. Story 26. When she comes over to my place, she almost immediately wants a Kraft single cheese slice from the fridge. Just the cheese slice, nothing else, and it brings her so much joy to eat this thing that is essentially plastic without anything else added. She grew up in a home where everything was healthy, so things like artificial cheese slices in the house were blasphemous. I think it's weird, but it makes her happy, so who cares? Story 27. I had an ex who was absolutely amused by my upper arms when I was lying on my back, crossing my arms behind my head. Only when I was lying back like that, though. If she walked by, she stopped and stared at me. I'm a skinny guy, never had big muscles, so I still don't know why she loved them. But hey, I'm not complaining. Story 28. She apparently spends an hour before bedtime with her hands in the freezer, and then places them on me when I'm all toasty and warm. She enjoys this immensely, despite the many serious conversations I've had with her about consent. Story 29. My girlfriend doesn't wet her toothbrush or toothpaste. Just toothpaste on the brush, straight into the mouth. I know it's not, whoa, crazy weird, but it's so weird to me. I can't imagine just doing that. Story 30. She makes completely indistinguishable baby dinosaur noises instead of yes or no or other answers sometimes, so I have to ask the same question 4 different ways or ask tangential questions to figure out the answer. Story 31. Whenever I wear a shirt that has a pocket, she always has to stick her hand in that pocket. Just once and then she's good. That, or her insistence on cleaning the lint out of my belly button for me. Story 32. This is such an opportunity. The weirdest and cutest thing she does when she's in a silly mood or wants attention is suddenly look up towards the ceiling and make a sound that resembles Chewbacca calling for someone. She gets my attention and a laugh every time. Story 33. When we're both really gassy, she asks me to rolling pin her. She'll lie on her back, and I'll lie down on her at a 90-degree angle with our stomachs touching and then roll back and forth a bit on her. It often makes us both fart. Story 34. My girlfriend really likes pressing cheeks together. She will give me this weird look when we are laying down, and then smush her cheek into mine. It is adorable. Story 35. She takes random videos of me almost every day. Videos of me washing dishes, watching TV, laying my head on her lap while on my phone, and so on. She says she likes watching them when I am not with her. Story 36. She makes random noises out of nowhere and does random impressions of cartoon characters. I used to find it so weird, but now I enjoy listening to her random rambles, and her impressions are on point. She gets shy if I try and request one, though. God, I love her so much. Story 37. My ex, when she was the little spoon, always brought her foot up and put it between my knees, like right at the knees. She found the spot that disturbed me the least, and that was her favorite. Story 38. My girlfriend really likes to try and lick me without me noticing because once, at the very beginning of our relationship, I got away with licking her on her cheek and she didn't notice. She is not subtle. She never succeeds. It hasn't stopped her trying. Story 39. She cracks her neck, knuckles, and back in the most disgusting way I have ever seen or heard. She is the most beautiful girl, though. She always has my back, no matter what I did this time. I will always love her. Story 40. My girlfriend has developed a system of expressing her emotions without words. She makes sounds that I have grown to immediately interpret accurately. There is a world of difference between mre and mra. Story 41. Well, the weirdest thing other people could say she's done, but to me it was adorable, hysterical, and generous. A gal I dated for a while in my early 20s loved cats, especially kittens. Plenty of people do, right? I certainly do. But this woman loved kitties, and anytime I was with her and she saw a feline, she would get giddy without fail. Even if she was angry or sad, the mere sight of a cat within chasing distance would brighten her right up. She'd run at them every time. Not very fast, but still, it never ceased to amaze me that most of them didn't get spooked and run away or even flinch. Some did, but most let her approach them, and many of those even let her pick them up. One time I saw her sprint to a tiny tree several yards away and climb it because she noticed a cat when we were in the middle of a conversation with someone she was introducing me to. The cat didn't leave the tree, just let this insane human jump up in its personal space and pet it in the branches. Freaking cat whisperer. Another time after that happened, someone she was close to had just gotten diagnosed with cancer. My girlfriend was devastated, and I couldn't comfort her for days. I took her on a date to an animal shelter where she got to pet and cuddle maybe dozens of animals that day. We kept going back regularly until she could properly set up her place, money, and time to adopt one and take it home, and that helped her keep her head on during that time. But yeah, strangers and friends found her strange because she would approach cats in the most bizarre places, like near a dumpster, or a dark parking lot, or over a school's fence if she could get away with it. The part about her being generous, though, was at one point I suddenly noticed she'd pulled out treats from somewhere to give to one of the fur balls. She does it every time, and when we talked about it, she told me that she often makes a bunch of treats at home and carries them in her little backpack in case she happens to run into any strays, because she figures for some of them it could be the only love they ever get from a human, or maybe the only food they'll find that day. She would often wave goodbye to them, and she'd tell them she was going to miss them and that she hoped to hug them again someday. I'm in my 30s now, and last I was aware, she was still doing it. I miss that weird, awesome woman. Story 42. A lot of things. The first time she met my mom, they both needed to wash their hands for some reason. So she started washing my mom's hands in the sink. She likes to watch me sleep, which I woke up to the very first time I spent a night with her. Willingly eats packs of gum people have dropped on the ground. Great story behind this one. Eats SpaghettiOs out of the can. Used to make a wax man out of candle wax that was gross and disturbing, and she would get mad if I hid it or tried throwing it out. Lies to strangers a lot. We'll make up a fake name, backstory, etc. for fun. It's hilarious. Rubs her spit on itchy spots. Likes playing with my flaccid penis. Spreads her bottom apart to fart. When we're in bed cuddling, she'll put our hair together and mix them together while narrating and laughing. There's so much more that I can't think of because she is honestly the weirdest person I've ever met in my life, and it's honestly charming in a strange way and makes every day I spend with her memorable and special. Story 43. When we are about to kiss, sometimes my girlfriend jerks her head up at the last minute so that her nose brushes against mine, and I am left kissing air. She has started calling them rhino kisses, and it's weird, funny, and frustrating all at the same time. Story 44. She is not a big eater, and therefore it can take the whole evening for her to finish her plate. She does not care if it is cold at that point. I am the complete opposite, so it is kind of a good thing for me to adjust my pace. When she is over at my family or in restaurants, she does eat a lot quicker, weirdly enough. Oh well, love her regardless.